when I was in St. Louis, a young woman came and saw me, and she had been part of a clinical trial that was revolutionary at the time. It was looking at genetic testing for sentinel nodes. Not just regular lab exam, but actually doing the same sort of genetic test that was now so common, like the DecisionDx test. It was looking at the sentinel node with a single genetic test, again, which at the time was groundbreaking. We didn't know what to do with this genetic test. And Jamie was on that study. She was from Dallas? And she had gotten the surgery and been on this trial, which was called the Sunbelt Melanoma trial. And her sentinel node was negative, except when they did the genetic test, it was positive. And now there was this, well, what does that mean? And she had done okay, and then unfortunately the melanoma started coming back, and her mom's here today, Donna. So Donna will have to remind me how she found me, because I was in St. Louis, Missouri, and she was living in Dallas. But in any event, Jamie came and saw me, and we all fell in love with Jamie. She was great. And over the next several years, we treated her with the best things we had available then, which of course don't even compare to what we have available now. And then I moved to New Jersey, and Jamie and Donna came here too. Had surgery at Morristown Medical Center by myself and my colleagues. As I recall, she didn't even have a winter coat living in Texas, right? So she would come during the winter, and we would have to help her out and find coats for her. Anyway, Jamie unfortunately passed away from melanoma, and we miss her. But it's kind of changed Donna and Larry's life, unfortunately. But it'll help other people. And so we asked Donna to come back today. And you should all follow Donna on social media. Donna, I think, is one of the #1 advocates against tanning salons. She tweets about it all the time. It's almost embarrassing to watch Donna's tweets roll by, because you realize that unless you're really invested in it, unless it really means something to you on a minute-to-minute basis, you're not going to have a real presence on social media. But I asked Donna to come and speak today about tanning salons and Jamie. And so, without further ado, Donna Regan.
My Jamie, she was my baby girl, the precious baby girl. When Jamie was a teenager, she would spend her lunch hours going to the tanning salons. I didn't realize how dangerous they were. If you tan when you're young, your risk for melanoma are increased by 75%. That's huge. What I would say to mothers that allow their daughters to tan, no mother should have to visit their daughter in a cemetery. 1 person an hour dies from melanoma. Jamie's hour was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, March 16th, 2007. I hope no one else has to mark their hour.
This message is brought to you by the American Academy of Dermatology.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Donna, and I'm Jamie's mom. And I'm really, really glad to be here. And I'd like to thank Dr. Whitman for inviting me. I'm very honored. And to AIM for sponsoring the symposium. Years ago, Dr. Whitman probably doesn't even remember, but he told me I knew just enough about melanoma to be dangerous. After sitting through the sessions today, I'm really dangerous now, Dr. Whitman. Dr. Whitman and I go back a long way, as he mentioned. We actually met on the internet, and I know what you're thinking. No, it wasn't at a dating site. It was in a melanoma chat group, and I wasn't the patient, my daughter was. Jamie was diagnosed as stage 2 when she was 20 years old. We celebrated her cure after 3 years, and then her 4th year, we found it had spread and was stage 4. And I had kept in touch with Dr. Whitman for that entire time and knew that's where we needed to be. And so he was practicing in St. Louis at the time, and that's where we went. They fell in love, and so when he ran away to New Jersey, we went after him. Now, it's my theory he was probably trying to escape Jamie's mom, but he didn't run fast enough or far enough. He was Jamie's doctor for the last 5 years of her life. She died when she was 29, and she'd been stage 4 for 5 years. At that time, that was a lot. Not near enough, but it was a lot. And we can never thank him enough for giving us that 5 years. The sad, really sad thing is Jamie's melanoma and her death probably could have been prevented. But she had a love affair, not only with Dr. Whitman, but before that she had a love affair with tanning beds. If she just stayed out of them, I wouldn't be here now talking about this. For the past 9 years since her death, I've been telling her story, and I've been fighting the tanning bed industry. And I am now very proud to say that I am the indoor tanning industry's worst nightmare. I didn't just make that title up. The title was given to me when the tanning industry attempted a sting operation on me several years ago. I don't need to tell anyone here how dangerous tanning beds are, and yet, today alone in the United States, over 1 million people, just today, just in this country, will use tanning beds. The stats and information, I'm not going to go into that because I don't have time today. They are on AIM's website, aim@melanoma.org. Instead, I would like to tell you about what's currently going on in the battle against tanning beds. And there's a lot. We're coming at them from all different directions. Hopefully it'll be enough. We'll see. On the federal level, the FDA has proposed a nationwide tanning ban for all minors under 18. This started out many years ago, and the waiting has been torture. Over 5 years ago, Jamie's story, along with others, was presented to the FDA advisory panel. And we've waited and waited. Now we've finished the public comment process, and guess what? We're waiting. And hopefully, soon, who knows, hopefully we'll hear that they'll make their proposal an official ruling. The FTC has been involved in the false advertising aspects of tanning beds. This is a huge problem, with the tanning industry claiming benefits, all types of benefits, from tanning beds. They range from weight loss to curing sexual dysfunction to even decreasing the risk of melanoma. The FTC has recently ruled that Dr. Mercola can no longer sell tanning beds because of the false and deceptive advertising he used to sell them. We're making progress. In state legislation, Kansas this past week made number 13. 13 states now have under 18 bans on using tanning beds. 2 more have under 18 bans, almost total. They include doctors' prescription exemptions. So actually there are 15. California was the first state to pass an under 18 tan ban. And AIM actually led that effort, as they have in many of the states. Sometimes they were successful, sometimes not, and it's never been easy. And I am always amazed at the politics. Closer to your neck of the woods, the state of New York is being very aggressive, even though they only have an under 17 ban, same as New Jersey. But the New York Attorney General has actively been going after tanning salons that use lies and deceit to sell tanning. Another big issue is tanning beds on campus, or even the connection of campuses, college campuses, with the tanning industry. A tan-free campus initiative should be launched shortly, and that will further highlight this issue. You'll read about it, I'm sure, when it happens. And I have been working with Dr. Sherry Pagato, a researcher at University of Massachusetts, to identify many university campuses that have connections with indoor tanning. And this, for me, has been a very enlightening experience. Entangle themselves in so many different aspects of university life, from having tanning beds on campus, and ask me about Purdue University if we have time, to tanning salons being part of the cash programs, so the kids can use a cash card, a debit card to pay from their parents' money, and their parents don't even know that the kids are doing this. They're involved in discount programs, to athletics, ask me about University of Louisville, if we have time, to student newspaper advertising. And then we have off-campus housing with tanning beds. And even those are often advertised on the university's websites. It's really, they've gotten themselves rooted into the university system, but good. Off-campus student housing has become luxury living, where they offer everything that they can throw at you to get you to have your child there, from, well, I really think that the pet washing stations sound really cool, but free tanning doesn't. Florida, Texas, Arizona, those are main offenders in my research so far for having off-campus housing with tanning beds. I really am clueless how to address this problem, but I think it needs to come from the parents. Researchers are also looking into the subject of tanning addiction and why teens do tan, so that we can target them with education better than we're doing now. Dr. Jared Stapleton here in New Jersey has even dedicated his work on indoor tanning research to Jamie. For the future, we're looking at tanning beds in fitness centers. It's a growing concern. The idea that being tan is healthy needs to change. Home tanning beds are a problem that actually have been created by banning kids from using them in the salons. We've got to tackle this. Enforcement of current laws is needed, and I know that's a top priority for AIM at Melanoma. My hope is that one day we'll be here talking about an under 21 tan ban. My dream is that they will be extinct and we won't have them in the country at all. So you can keep up to date on everything related to indoor tanning on Twitter or on our Facebook page. Pull the plug on tanning beds, facebook.com/banthebeds. We even have our own troll. Lucky us. And finally, Jamie would not want me to leave without telling you that no tan is worth dying for. So please help me spread the word. Thank you.